Welcome to Celtic Fox Stamp Club for July 2016. This is our last project, the 3D project, and yes, you see correctly, there is a fork in front of me. You are going to need a fork to do this project, and I will show you a little bit later about why that is the case. These are all the things you are going to need. You also are seeing correctly, you do not need any adhesive for this. Sorry, I forgot to put that block in. We are going to do some stamping. Alright, so I'm going to move that aside. The only stamp we are going to need today is the pineapple, so we'll just grab that. I'll mount that up. We can put the fork aside for now. Alright, the first piece that we're going to need is just this little banner piece. Now, we're going to do some tricky stamping here. What colour am I going to do first? We'll do the Melamambo first. Now, I found that this was the easiest to do with the stamp spots, if you got them. But if you do have the full-size ink pads, it's perfectly fine as well. I've done it with that as well, and it's perfectly doable to do. What we're going to do is we're just going to ink up the bottom half of this in the Melamambo, and then we're going to do the top half of it in the Emerald Envy. So, obviously just start at the bottom there. Now, this is where just got to be a little bit tricky, and don't worry if it goes a little bit into the other side. It doesn't look that bad. You can see with just a little bit of care, and I haven't hit the top part at all. Just flip that around so it's easier to do. Just trying to be as careful as possible. Okay. So you can see that actually wasn't as difficult as it kind of sounds to do. Alright, so we'll bring in our little banner piece. Now, we want it so that there's enough, pretty well in the middle, I reckon. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, there we go. Our little pink pineapple. Alright, now we'll come back to that in a second. I'm going to show you now how to make a bow using a fork. So we're going to take this little piece here. Okay, now let's see if I can remember how to do this. I learned this not that long ago myself, so we'll see if I stuff it up. Okay, so we're going to go, yep, alright. So have it so that you've got a shorter piece kind of on this side. This will end up being probably about as long as your little hangy bit from the bow's going to be anyway. So we're going to put it through the center piece there, pull that through, and then we're going to go over the top, and then we're going to loop back through this piece here. Okay, now if I've done that correctly, that should work. Okay, so you kind of pull it off. So on the other side is where you pull it off from. I probably twisted that a little bit too much, but essentially it is the way it's meant to be. Just kind of feel around with that until you're really happy with the way that the bow goes. And you've got to pull it tight in a funny way. See, the bow itself actually isn't that complicated, but this little bit's a little bit fiddly. Now, obviously, if you know another way that you're comfortable with, obviously do that. If you want to learn a new way, then you can also do that as well. have made that a little bit twisted. It's not my best work. No, I might actually do that again. Oh, wait. No, it's working. Make that a bit even. Okay. Now, included in your kit, you'll have some glue dots, which I didn't grab. You'll just have one little glue dot in between these two little pieces of paper. I'm just going to put one on the back of this. And we're going to stick it to there. Alright. That's that piece done. So I'll put that to the side. We no longer need the fork. Alright, we're going to take this large piece and we are going to fold that way. So you'll see there's a score line there, so you have this little ridged bit there, and then one more score line, which is here. We're just going to fold that with our fingers. We're going to bring in our little gusseted bag. These are new in the new catalogue as well. Now, they are food safe, so they're great for little cookies or lollies or whatever it is. Just kind of flatten that out first with your hand, but then we're going to push this down so that we get a flat bottom there. Now, it will sit a little bit kind of funny like this. I like to sticky tape this bit down, so I'm going to just do that. If you've got your own sticky tape, just regular sticky tape, then go ahead and do that. If you don't do it, it's not the worst thing on the planet really, but you'll find that it's hard to kind of make it sit nicely until you've got something with weight in it. So once something, you know, is in there, holding it in place, then it'll hold the paper down a little bit. Okay. Alright. Now, that is pretty much all that we've got to do. I am actually going to put something in there that has weight so that I can show you what it looks like when it looks nice. Just going to grab one of my mini punches. Okay. So you kind of just push those together. Make sure that's flat. We're going to grab our little piece like this. And we're just going to peg it on. Simple. Okay. There's our nice little piece there. Hope you've enjoyed that. This is such a simple project, this one. I've just made this with a piece of designer series paper, and I've cut that up to size and put this these little ridges on using one of my Thinlet dies, and scored it a couple of times. So really quite a simple project, and you can get a packet of these gusseted bags. I think there's 25 in a packet. Really good value. So if you were doing any party favours or little thank you gifts, these are absolutely perfect. So I really hope you've enjoyed that. Thanks for joining me.